You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAK Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode.
What if we did something where every week we just expanded that that little pause by like a second every week, so it just got longer and longer before it hits?
We should do that.
It's an idea.
Carson, it looks like something's on your mind, man.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell everybody what? Well, I'll get into it in a minute, but
Okay.
why don't you go and you do your thing.
So one of the things that welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 155. We're recording this on Tuesday, February 20th. You'll be hearing this on Friday,
23rd.
February the 23rd.
There you go. Got it.
Is that what this Friday is? Is that the 23rd? It's
Yeah.
155.
Yeah, there's just I mean, I had it.
Carson's counting down the days.
Yeah. Well, it's just my weekend was just wasted.
Really?
So I'm just looking forward to the next weekend whenever I can actually enjoy it instead of having issues.
Well,
Problem.
listen, man. I get it. The All-Star game was that bad, huh?
No, it wasn't even that, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think you know. But yeah, before I get into that, I'm going to be addressing some things that have been happening recently. There's a lot to address and go over at the top here, but before we do that, let's talk. I'm going to tell you guys what else we'll be talking about this week. As Gavin mentioned, the All-Star game. We watched that this past weekend. We're talking about that. We'll be talking about Trump going to SneakerCon and breaking news of his GoFundMe that we're definitely supporting. We have a clip that we just found about 5 minutes ago. Next door drama, Whatcha Listening To, the hits, baby.
Play back the hits.
I'm just looking forward to that because that's going to cheer me up after all this. After all this. So, oh man, I never wanted to do this, man. This is,
This cord is just
really long. Oh, gotta tie it up. Yeah, hog tie it. This is something I never thought I'd have to do. It's like,
on here. You don't want to abuse your platform.
No, not even just in general. It's like, man, you would have told me 3 years ago that this would have been happening. I would have been like, you're out of your mind.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough, man. This past, what day was that? Saturday? 17th? Was that Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday. I got into a little bit of some Twitter drama that I didn't see coming. I was blindsided. I was completely blindsided by this, if you can believe that.
Carson's never on Twitter. I send him so many messages. He never replies back.
But now I do. I never thought I'd be getting. First of all, I never thought I'd be getting into Twitter drama
Or hate mail.
or with this guy. So I got into some Twitter drama with this guy. You guys might know him from if you're an Office Hours fan. His name's Paul Braun.
Are you talking about Phil?
Paul Braun.
You talking about Phil Braun?
Phil Braun. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
whatever. Same thing. Both overly white dude names. They start with a P.
Right.
Like
yeah.
Philip. Which I guess would be his full name. Huh. Are you like a double agent?
No. We
You guys
just because
share the same name though, so what's that about?
Well,
You
I
guys
mean, just 'cause-
related?
Yep. I know Phil like the back of my hand. Because I look at him every day in the mirror.
I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah, because
my name's Phil
Your
too.
name is
Yeah.
Phil. Yeah, so I got into some Twitter beef with this guy Paul Braun. That all started.
Phil Braun.
Phil, who really cares? I don't know. It's a forgettable name, forgettable person.
Isn't he like beloved?
Really. Well, I even at a time thought he was, which we'll get into in a minute. But if you're not an Office Hours fan and you're wondering who Paul Braun
Phil Braun.
Phil Braun is
Dyslexia is killing his ass.
he's
today.
like this guy. He started out as far as I know, the history of office hours that I know. He started out as a fan of the show. And he still is a fan. He's not even a part of the show. He's still just a fan. That's all he'll ever be. Is a fan.
Yep.
Who just, he just loves attention. He just like wants this attention all the time.
I mean, you showed me that clip where he like dressed up as a clown during office hours.
Oh, I don't even really. Oh yeah, I guess I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
I think we'll watch
pretty forgettable clip.
Yeah,
but like,
which is interesting because we will watch a clip of it that I put in the doc.
Yeah.
But I did forget about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like this fan. He's just this super fan of office hours.
Yeah,
he
knows
the show
everything.
I work for. Like he probably wishes
he was in your position,
my shoes, my pants. I'm in my shoes, not. I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
Of course.
Yep.
But he's just like he was a fan for a long time, and then he started doing these bits, and some people like them. I guess apparently. And then he just kind of kept doing it over and over again because he's just like this adrenaline junkie.
That's one of the words that I hear about performers all the time.
Attention junkie.
Yeah. But people in the community love him, from what I understand.
Yeah. Again, I did too.
I mean,
at
the
a time.
official account tweeted out how much they love Phil Braun.
Oh man, please don't tell me you got duped by that too, did you?
Well, I saw that.
Oh, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Let's just get into it. So this all started, again, keep in mind that this guy he just craves the attention.
Right.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
And Matt, I love Matt, producer Matt, Captain Carlin, as maybe some people know him. Great guy. Talk to him literally every day. It's not even a joke. We almost talk every single day. He's like at the top of my, like, when like you like send something to someone or something, and it'll show like your top texted person. Matt's right there.
It's always like,
he's my rock.
Matt. He's my rock. He's always there for
rock.
me.
No, I love Matt though.
But Phil.
Phil, don't even.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Love isn't even in the equation.
Sore nerve, like touchy nerve.
It's just real touchy because it just ruined my whole weekend.
Right.
So Matt, not me. This was not me. I do have access to the Office Hours Twitter account, which, by the way, I meant to do a screen recording. Because you guys will see here that I am.
Where the fuck is QuickTime?
You obviously won't see any of the information, but I know some jackass out there is gonna try and go, oh, I see he's logged into the Office Hours account. One of these Phil freaks,
right,
as we'll call him.
Is that what you call him?
Is going to be like, oh, well, it looks like he's logged into the account.
We could call
because
him,
I'll be able to view the analytics and stuff.
Philnatics.
I'll call him Phil Freaks, probably.
Okay.
That's probably what I'll stick with.
PHREAKS.
And so Matt was nice enough. This was not me. I would not tweet this about myself. I'm not that vain as Phil is. And quote tweeted our perfect clip, our amazing clip of us drinking Malort that I edited. I did it, not Gavin. I'm not trying to take credit away for. Now I'm starting to beef with you for some reason.
I was never even gonna claim that I even edited it.
I saw you were trying to take credit for it.
Yep, I said this is
crazy.
My clip is popping off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just need a drink.
Yeah. Sucking off that Boo Radler.
I don't like that. For some reason, I hate that.
He's drinking.
Not the drink.
He's chugging on some Radler.
But it was a great clip, and Matt was nice enough to quote tweet it and say, as you'll see on the screen right now, we heart our Lieutenant Carson, don't you? Which was a nice promo to be like, oh, Lieutenant Carson. Some people know who I am, some people don't, and that's okay. But it's super nice of Matt to post this. And I think it was around the time. Oh no, it was okay. Sorry, I'm getting confused. I think. Yeah. So I right after I did a little heart with this like hug emoji. I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a come here.
It's like bring two hands out.
Bring it in.
This guy Paul Ryan.
Hey, bring it in. No, not Paul Ryan. Phil Braun.
Phil Bryan.
Nope, Phil Braun.
Country music star Phil Bryan.
Yep.
Comes in with this.
Whoa.
Thinks he's trying to be all cute or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And
some people would call it.
Maybe he even knows I love Seinfeld. I don't know. I do love Seinfeld.
He's a fan of the show.
He might even be listening to this. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, he might be a fan of our show because he has liked some of our. He does follow the It Takes All Kinds account, I think. So.
Just
Well,
throwing that
he's
out
going to
there.
see this for sure.
Which is funny because he, with this Jerry emoji, that's emoji,
GIF.
that says, "Who is this?" He's talking to, I think it was when, if I remember the episode, I'm going to say the exact episode number and season 2.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember which season it was, but George is calling him and he's like frantically screaming about something. And then Jerry goes, "Who is this?" And so he leaves this little emoji as a reply.
It's a GIF.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, Phil. Who is this? You know who I am, Phil." And I reply, "Not many I Heart Phil Braun tweets out there, huh? Wonder why." Pretty great response, I would say.
That's so mean.
And then this Phil freak comes in, and you'll see right here it says this post is unavailable. The coward deleted it.
Son of a bitch.
And what it was is
Not Phil, just the fact that it got deleted.
Right. He is let me read exactly what it says he is on the Tim Heidecker account, because if you don't watch Office Hours, of course I can't get on it. Man, maybe even almost a year ago or something, a little while ago, Tim originally deleted his Twitter account, but then Phil came on because he loves attention. He's an adrenaline junkie. Came on the show and was begging Tim for it. He was like, "Tim, give me your Twitter. Let me have it. Please, please, please. I'll keep doing it. Please, please, please." And so Phil is now the he says held in receivership by #viral Phil Braun. Nobody says that. So Phil is the owner of the account now, and tweets out these like things of what Tim is doing, and pretty much just like holds Tim's account until Tim ever decides to get it back.
Yeah.
Which he's probably gonna have to pry it away from Phil, because this is the most attention he's ever gotten.
Jesus
And
Christ.
even the pinned tweet here. Read this
Just
crap.
laying this in. Just
The only
laying on 'em.
only official Twitter for Tim Heidecker. This is Tim's only official site, where posts of Tim's latest shows, candid photos behind the scenes, look productions, movie roles, #follow this account for future updates, endorsed by Tim's family, run by friend Phil BR, because it ran out of characters.
I guess.
So Phil is kind of the owner of this account and is the only one that runs it. Tim does not tweet from this or do anything from this anymore, to my knowledge, which I'm pretty sure that knowledge is correct, because I usually am correct.
Unlike Phil.
And of course I exited out of this, which is very annoying that I did that. But after seeing that tweet where I said, not many, don't worry about that, not many I Heart Phil Braun tweets, he comes in right away, pretty quickly after I said that.
Yeah, what time did you tweet that out?
Well, we can figure that out in a second, but he goes on to Tim's account and tweets, "I Heart Phil Braun." And then I don't know how many hours later, it was up for a while because he duped 247 people into liking it.
Including yourself.
That must be a mistake, because I would have never liked that tweet, because that's fake. It's not a real tweet. It was probably that, maybe it was probably just an accident. I'm sure I didn't actually like that. But yeah, he left it up long enough for 247 people to be fooled into
Including yourself.
liking it, and 7 people retweeting it and quote tweeting
3
it.
people quote tweeted it. Curious to know what those were.
Wish I could check, but
Well, one of them was him, I think.
and one of them was me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, one of them was him, one of them was me, and I think one of them was Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, on the Office Hours account, which we'll get into later, because he accuses me. He's doing this what was the word I called it?
Dupe.
No. It was a hold on. What is he doing that I said he's doing?
Reservership.
No.
Conservator.
That he's doing to me. Sorry, I meant to quit out of this. He's
dead naming you.
No. Oh, that's definitely not it. Shit. Oh wait, hold on. Let me find my quote tweet. Smear campaign.
Oh yeah.
He's on this smear campaign that took way longer than it needed to.
Yeah.
Against me, whatever. So I tweeted my reply at 5:34, and he did the Tim tweet at 5:38. So 4 minutes later, Phil comes in with that, and then I replied to that and said, "Abuse of power. I'd love to see what the real Tim Heidecker thinks about this. Please do something about this menace at Elon Musk." Never heard anything from Elon, unfortunately. But yeah, I put this picture where it says the only real Tim Heidecker account.
Run by Phil Braun.
Just so people knew that was Phil saying that. Because a lot of people in the replies are like, oh, it looks like Tim got back on his account. And it's like, well, you would be wrong and you were fooled. Phil fooled you.
You got.
You got filled. Phil
You got
fooled.
filled of.
You got
Phil.
filled in.
Yeah.
So then Phil replies to that and said he's not in the country, which he's right. He was in
Dublin.
He's in Dublin. And I said looking into this because I didn't know at the time. And then Phil says don't bother him because he's horrified of Tim finding out about this in some sort of way, which is why he deleted it. Maybe even Tim was like, delete that right now. I bet that's why he deleted it, because Phil, you know how much of a freak he is. He would have left that tweet up, but then I bet Tim came in and was like, listen, buddy, you got to delete that right now.
Because I don't love you.
Because I don't love you, and nobody does.
Nobody should
either.
endorse this.
I mean, I was right. I'd never seen an I Heart Phil Braun tweet.
No, it's true. It's true.
And then I replied with nervous, and then I
person is what keeps me trying to.
So there's this little go follow Office Hours TikTok where we do some of these fun little memes. He didn't reply to that. So I just thought it was funny. It wasn't really, I didn't know what else to say. So I just kind of put that out
What'd
there.
you say? You said
Nervous
nervous?
with a question mark. Cause I could tell he's freaking out. So he did all that on Saturday.
Right.
And this flew under the nose of Matt, nobody knew this at the time, and maybe we wouldn't even talk about it on Office Hours this Thursday, but he was also out of the country.
Oh, wow.
So he was on vacation.
He's on
so
vacation.
He didn't see any of this happening.
He wasn't sucking on a Boo Radler.
So but I am. So, this all is, just happening. I'm just getting attacked.
Yeah, I mean, no, literally, like, it would be like someone robbing the bank on Sunday. You know what I mean?
on the Sabbath.
You never see that.
I was completely blindsided, and I was just almost bullied off the platform by Phil.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to one-up you. Suck on that
That's
Boo
the
Radler,
thing
man.
is like he couldn't stand to see someone else getting attention other than him.
Right. No,
But
exactly.
he tries to call in every single week. It's crazy. It's just like he can't not be on the show.
Nope, you're right.
But we let him, but not anymore, because Matt, thankfully, the next day, perfectly fine. Matt was on vacation. I'm not trying to comment on Matt not replying to any of this. If it sounded like I was, he was enjoying his vacation like he should have. And maybe Phil even knew that, and he was like, oh, perfect time for me to strike. So then Matt comes in and sees that the Tim tweet is deleted. So between 5:38 on Saturday, Central Time, by the way, and 10 a.m. Central Time on Sunday, the tweet was deleted. So Matt comes in. Again, not me. I did not tweet this. I didn't. I swear on the Bible, I would swear on everything that I did not tweet this.
He would swear at Spider-Man.
I'll swear on this Radley. So
Soaking on that Boo Radler.
Matt quote tweets Phil's reply with the I Heart Phil Braun tweet from Tim's account. It's like a 7-layer dip.
Yeah, it is.
And says, unfortunately, Uncle Phil Braun. I thought it was Paul.
It's Phil. It's Phil Braun, 100%. You were tweeting at Phil Braun that entire time. I saw all your tweets.
Unfortunately, Phil Braun is banned from Office Hours for abuse of power and dirty deleting posts in a pathetic effort to insult and bully our staff. We wish you the best in the future. Which I was...
Truly
I
humbled.
was like,
You're like, I'm glad I got a boss that backs me up like that.
Yeah, it felt
good.
very good. I felt validated.
Exactly.
I felt like
I would too.
I felt like finally someone is on my side.
You're right. Yep.
Because nobody else had my back until this.
No,
moment.
I was working.
Just in this situation, not in any other.
Yeah, no, not in this. I was not gonna get myself wrapped into this.
So then I'll just show my quote tweet real quick. shortly after that. I said, I can now sleep comfortably knowing that Paul Braun's attempted smear campaign shall continue no more. Justice has been served. So, are you sure it's not Paul?
No,
I said
it's
Paul
Phil.
in
It's
the
Phil.
tweet, though.
It says it right there.
But then
right
why
there
did I
underneath
say
it,
Paul?
it says Phil Braun.
He might have changed it. So Phil later on says, how was that a smear campaign? And then I just sent him a dictionary.com article that links to the definition of smear campaign, just so he can read up. He probably doesn't know about this website either. So,
Wow, we're going to get a lot of... Everybody sound off in the comments about how much you hate Phil Braun. Sound
now
off.
you said it.
No, it's Phil Braun. It's Phil.
Okay. Don't actually do that.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
You can tell it. You just sound off in the comments if you agree. If you're on my side.
If you're on Carson's,
tell us what.
Tell us your hashtag Team Carson.
Tell us in the comments below what you think of this, guys. Well, I'm sending it over to you. We're doing what Philip DeFranco does.
Right.
Now I'm going to send this to you guys.
What do you guys think? So,
someone
what do
else-
you guys think?
Someone else said no. Bring back Paul. I think he just misspelled Paul.
Again, it's definitely Phil.
Like I said, Paul. So Phil replied. Now we're back to the Matt's quote tweet. Lot to keep track of here. I apologize.
You mean
This
quote
is my
post.
first Twitter drama, so I don't know how to handle all of this. So I apologize if I'm just all over the fucking
This is
place.
in the timeline. It's a timeline. Timeline
So
of
then
events.
Paul comes in
Phil.
on the quote. What did you call it?
Quote post.
Quote post.
It's not a tweet. It's on X.
Prid quo post.
Can't do that. Don't want to get quid pro quos.
Don't get prid quo quost. If Paul comments,
Phil.
you have no evidence of this. And then Matt replies, way more trusted at Carson __ Rolf, 2 underscores, by the way, in case you want to follow me. Swore under oath. He is far more reputable than you. It's true. I swore under oath.
He actually signed an NDA with office hours at the same time. And had his hand on the Bible and on his. He actually switched hands. He actually did like switch. He's like, he said
Sleight
this
of hand.
Yeah, he said right before signing the NDA and also tweeting at the same time with his other hand, he switched hands.
Yeah, it was weird because they made me swear on the Bible with my right hand and sign the NDA with my left. I'm not left-handed.
Right.
So it was really hard to write.
And,
but I did
and
it.
swear on the Bible and make a tweet.
Yeah, I had to swear on the Bible. I had to say fuck shit while standing on the Bible. I just swear on it.
Yeah. That's good.
And
That's
then
great.
Paul comes back in on that tweet and replies, this probably is Carson saying that. And then I come in on my account.
Carson __ Rolf. Follow him on Twitter, on X.
On X. XXX. And says, that would be an abuse of power, something you seem to know a lot about. But before I said that, Matt actually came in and said, wrong. Carson does not have permission to use the reply feature on this website. That is true. In my contract, I signed that, I have access to all of the accounts, but the one thing that was spelled out is you cannot reply to anybody on Twitter.
All caps, underscore, bolded, underlined.
Which is weird because everything else I could do, I could, message people,
Retweet
whatever.
people, yeah.
But it was just the reply thing. It was like,
Can't
you
do
cannot
it.
do that.
Yeah, do not, under any circumstances.
And I'm okay with it.
You may
I'm
be
happy
tempted.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
But
you have way less things to worry about now that you don't have to reply to everybody like Phil.
like
Braun.
Paul Orion.
Right.
So
When you got fall Braun checking down your pants.
So literally, if Phil has seen my contract, which I don't
doubt
know
it.
if he
Yeah,
has.
I doubt it, but
he might have. He's a freak.
He's
so-
also he has no problem abusing power.
That's true. So he might have access to things that I don't even know.
Right.
But then he comes in and says, "Let me see your IP address," and that's where it stops because.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm not going to reply to that because what am I going to say? And I'm not going to do it on the account. I'm going to do it on my account.
Right. You don't want to give it away.
So
And you think the office hours account would tweet out their IP?
that's what I'm saying. And it wasn't me because I was not saying that.
Right.
I was not the one. That was Matt, I swear. So yeah, all of this,
All of this to say,
let's, I saw this all happen and I was like,
this Phil guy.
I was like, where
Phil.
did this come from? Why is Phil trying to start beef with me?
Yeah.
Because he knows who I am. I don't know why he's trying to act like he doesn't.
It's interesting that you say that he wants to start beef with you because of this next clip.
That's true, because he wanted to start pork with me. He wanted to pork me. He probably...
Anyway.
I was like, where did this come from? You know, I'm trying to I was retracing my steps all weekend. Like literally, this ruined my whole weekend. Like
we were watching the game, and I was like, dude,
I was pacing. You remember, I was pacing behind, right back here, right where I'm sitting, right behind where I'm sitting right now, where I'm sitting, right behind me, where I'm sitting. I was pacing back and forth. For
it's
an
interesting
hour.
that you should mention that because the NBA All-Star game was happening in Indiana, home of the Pacers.
It's true. You guys were making that connection too, and I was like, this is not a laughing matter. So I thought about it, and then I realized, I think I know where
this came from.
This all started.
Where it
stems from. I don't know if it's where it all started, but it seems to be where it stemmed from, because maybe Phil and I haven't transpired or anything since this happened that I can remember. So he saw this as an opportunity to be like,
to strike.
Who is this guy?
Yeah. He's trying to big time you. He's trying to big time you.
Right, because he's like, we put out all these clips about him because apparently people love him.
Yeah, or something.
And he's just like, I don't know. It's crazy because I edit some of those clips, So anyways.
Let's see it.
So a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, I should say. Months ago.
Months ago.
Months ago. Months ago.
Montague.
On November 10th. Actually, it was the 9th because it was a night show.
Actually,
we on Office Hours had on
Phil,
Edie Patterson, and John Glazer on the show, and Matt was out that night, so he asked if I could take over his position of kind of producing the show live, which is just from that standpoint, Matt does way more when he's in studio.
Mm-hmm. But
for me,
Zoom,
it's just
you can only do so much.
Yeah, you can only do so much. So I'm calling on Zoomers, figuring out their topics, and then also bringing on callers. I think we talked about it after it happened. So to give a little context to what's about to happen here is Vic had shown a clip of this woman who found pigs under her car.
Right.
And showed it on the show. And it was really funny. It was a really funny bit that Edie Patterson, who I'm a huge fan of from Righteous Gemstones, so fucking funny. Her and Tim were doing a bit about it and whatnot, and it had to do with pigs. And so Tim was like, moving on, let's, go to a caller. So this is what happened. And let me back it up because I didn't turn the sound on.
Oh. We gotta do more nighttime shows.
It's a different feel.
Do you want to talk to Phil?
Oh.
See, even look how upset Tim is that he has to talk to Phil.
No, I believe him.
I mean, so we're all in agreement here.
Right.
Want to? Speaking of pigs.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, but I want to get some.
So,
And then did you pull him up?
No, later on because Tim was because listen.
Some of our normals
God.
that don't get to call in all the time. But
We can say
Yeah.
Phil,
You
can
wanna
I
stay,
talk to you in
Phil?
the second half?
Yeah.
it looks like you might be here for a while.
Oh, also.
So I think he was upset with that
Yeah.
also because I not only did I call him a pig, which was just a joke at the time. I didn't really mean it. It was just a perfect setup. I was like, well, we got Phil here, and obviously see how upset Tim is that he has to talk to Phil.
Yeah.
So I just thought as a little just a jokey
Just like a
little jab.
Just like a little get.
I didn't know he would use it against me
All right.
later on.
Did he? Well, I guess
technically.
Yeah. He didn't bring it up.
No, he didn't. I'm just making assumptions
He's
here.
just starting a little pork. Wow, that was really gross. That sounded terrible.
It's like a pig. So that's where I think it stems from, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny that it would stem from there because literally after that episode on Office Hours, you and I recorded an episode that week after, and I made a note to talk about that bit that Phil did, which was the Bozo the Clown bit, where he called in on
Smokes a
Zoom
cigarette
and started the new Bozo show and whatnot.
Wonder how that's going.
And
you know
so,
what I mean?
right, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a big failure, if you ask me. I think it's a dead end. So on our show, this is what I had to say about him. Phil is done. You've never seen it, and if you haven't seen anything Phil has done, you need to see this one. He has debuted himself as the new Bozo,
Yep,
the new
the new
Bozo
Bozo.
show. And it's like a late night interview show where he's Bozo the Clown and he smokes cigarettes.
Like
he
a
said tomorrow,
Larry King.
Yeah, tomorrow night he's apparently having Jimmy Carter on. I don't know
Wow.
if you see that he posted that. But it was just the funniest thing ever, and it was great because
And you were
I
speaking
was
so
the one
highly
who
of
would
him.
call on the Zoomers, and so I got to
Speaking so highly on
like-
him, of him, and then this is another little bit later in the same episode.
Oh, it was just so funny.
Go
and-
watch that
and
clip.
Phil is hilarious and kills it every time, and that made me cry laughing in the moment and rewatching it later. But yeah, things that made me laugh this week.
Yeah, it's just you speak so highly of the guy, and then he just
And then
backstabs
throws
you.
you under the bus like that.
Anyways, I apologize that that we went on so long about that, but I appreciate you, Gavin, because this, Phil is an office hours featured extra, whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, he brought this up on a clip from our show,
He brought it upon himself.
which is makes me wonder, was he thinking that I was you or something, or somehow he didn't know who you were, which again doesn't make any sense, but
I mean, trust me, some people would argue that I'm the funnier of the two.
I think a lot of people would argue about that. But yeah, so he brought it to our home front, so that's why we bring it here. Otherwise, we keep that kind of stuff to office
it
hours.
clean.
So we'll see. This episode comes out after the office hours episode on Thursday, so we'll see if he, calls in like he does every single week, and tries to bring anything up about this. So, but if not, Phil, you're always welcome to come on this show anytime. Maybe we can, maybe we can figure this out.
Maybe
I
you
don't
guys can
know.
talk it out or something.
Or something. I don't know. I just glad it's over. I'm just, I've been nervous every single day of it continuing on. So
And sounds like you've been groveling over this like for a while.
yeah, I can't get over
Like
it.
it actually ruined your whole weekend.
I cannot get over this.
And we were watching the All-Star game and like on
And I was
this,
pacing right back
Yeah, you
here
were
where
pacing.
I'm sitting. I was pacing.
It's interesting that you say that because
The Indianapolis Pacers.
Pacers.
So that's it. I've given Phil plenty of my time now.
Jesus.
So hopefully now he'll never have to complain that he doesn't get enough attention.
Wow. Just actually,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I get it, man. I get it.
It had to be said.
So that was your weekend.
Yeah. But yeah, so All-Star game. Speaking of the All-Star game.
Speaking of my weekend. Thanks for asking, by the way.
Yeah, of course. How was the weekend?
Yeah, so had a migraine for half of the weekend.
Wow.
Hold on. Can you,
Let me vamp. So Easter's coming up.
yeah, whatever. That's fine.
But he had a migraine.
I had a migraine the whole weekend. And
the whole weekend?
No, not the whole
Oh.
weekend. It came back on Monday.
Monday.
No. So I had a headache both days. Didn't eat until like 2:00 on Saturday. So maybe that's why I had a migraine.
Huh.
Yeah, interesting that works. But I went to the St. Louis City FC, St. Louis City Football Club rally
Rally for the troops.
at the Armory in St. Louis, and met up with friend of the show, Brendan Batchelor, and our friend, mutual friend Carver, who you went to WWE with.
WWE.
This guy,
Oh,
this freaking guy.
dude. Stop.
And so I had a good time there. Had a good time there, and then we went to go eat at Grace Plus 3 Meats or something like that.
Grace me at 3 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's really good. I had a really good chicken
really
sandwich there, and then fell asleep for like the rest of the day. Then had a migraine again, and then took some old medication that did not work.
Okay.
I didn't know it was old. I just grabbed the first one out of the cabinet and just grabbed it, and it didn't work.
You weren't even trying to figure out which medication
Nope.
it was. You just took whatever
I-
was there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I do that sometimes too. I
Yeah.
open a drawer and I just go, that's the one.
Then you go.
Usually Benadryl. It's usually a Benadryl
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
that I'm chewing on.
He's trying to see the Hat Man tonight. So yeah, and then it came over here. We watched the All-Star game and gooned.
Yep.
with a couple of the friends of the show, Spencer and Sean.
Yep.
And had some Wingstop.
Yeah.
Some.
Which was the first time I've had Wingstop, and it was actually good. Every other time I've had it, and it was.
I think it's purely based on who you're with.
And based on the fact that we used to have to, the first time I had it, we drove all the way from St. Louis to here, which is 30 minutes.
That's true. Yeah,
And
we
it
did.
Felt
do
like
that.
I was eating rocks.
Yeah, that did happen. I forgot about that. I totally
I also
forgot
got
about that.
bone in, which can usually we could.
Yeah,
be
I like
hit
the
or
boneless
miss.
ones way better there.
I feel like such a baby eating boneless wings.
Yeah, but they're really good.
they are. That's
they're-
the
yeah.
problem.
It's a lot more flavor that way. I feel like. There's more. Could arguably.
Yeah, I would argue it.
So anyway, so the All-Star game, the first quarter was electric. It was like 53 to 47 or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and very quickly got out of hand. They put in the bench units, and everybody on the West team was missing. They changed the format back to East-West. They still had the captains, so they had to be the starters. So they had like
Right.
Giannis and LeBron, but it was just divided by conference. And the West team arguably was better on paper. It had a whole bunch of people that are probably going to make the Hall of Fame or just outside of the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
The East was some people.
Yeah.
So they were good players, but they're not nearly as like star-studded as the West was.
Sure.
Which is pretty usual.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the halftime show happened too, and then it started to really get out of hand where the East started to run away with it. The end of the game, the score was like 211 to like 189 or something like that. If I recall correctly, it was just singular. It was just 2
By
days
my
ago.
calculations.
And some people on Twitter and even TikTok were very, very, very upset about the pace of play and how there was no effort shown. There was no competitiveness. There was no, all this stuff. And to that I say, no. But I mean, I get it. Listen, I get it. Like you want to see you want to see your favorite players kind of like put forward their best foot forward and perform at a high level during a game with a whole bunch of other people who also do that. So
Right.
it's like, you
Right.
kind of want to show out. Now, one of my favorite players, Karl Anthony Towns, did score 50. He was the fourth player in NBA history to score 50 in an All-Star game.
Okay.
But I guess they gave the MVP to Damian Lillard because he had like 11 threes and had like 39 points or something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. He was actually launching it from like half court and making it.
Yeah.
You weren't even paying attention to the game because you were pacing the whole time.
Yeah. So I don't even remember.
Interesting.
any of it.
You should say pacing because, some people were very upset about it. They allegedly had Larry Bird, Andre Iguodala, and Julius Erving go into the locker rooms for each team and talk about how important it was that this game is competitive. They also switched it back so the fourth quarter is in the entire 12 minutes now and not just the 24 points. And the reason being is that like the players didn't think it was an actual basketball game. So it ruined the competitiveness for them. But in reality, it ruined the competitiveness for the audience too, because it's like, well,
Right.
it's not close.
Right. Right.
So anyway,
And
Yeah.
what did you think about this?
so
rant?
I think the rant about the fact that everybody is just so upset about the competitiveness, it's kind of annoying to me because it's like these are players on their break.
Right.
They are off for an entire week. Give them or like 6 days or whatever.
They're having fun.
They're
That's
having
the whole point
fun,
of it.
and there's a lot of camaraderie there. And I saw this guy on TikTok who I follow. He usually does pretty good breakdowns on footage, game film, or just like breakdowns of what happened in the NBA tonight. And he said that the All-Star game should be like for kids. It's like going and watching it's like watching the Avengers or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like literally all of your favorite superheroes, all of your favorite NBA players playing in a game. Cool.
Right.
Okay, cool. Like it's for kids. They're
Yeah.
not supposed to be a lot of defense there.
Right.
And if you want a defense there, you would have put in Rudy Gobert, right?
And also, you don't. The whole thing is, it's like they're not going to play their hardest because they don't want to get injured.
Right.
Playing a stupid exhibition
Yeah.
game for fun.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
Exactly. So yeah, and they're saying that maybe the in-season tournament is where you really should turn your attention to, because it's a new format and it's supposed to
Yeah.
be competitive. And the last 4 games were really competitive. Like they were really, they were really taking that shit seriously. So if you want to watch something that people take seriously, it's the in-season tournament or the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's not a playoff game. They have
No,
nothing to play
it's
for.
fun.
They're literally not playing
It's a
for any
fun
reason.
game.
And
I
I
would
would
much
hate to see one of my players tear their ACL, get an
Right.
Achilles
Being
tear,
stupid.
just doing something stupid.
Yeah. I would much rather watch all of those guys have fun and like dick around and
Like
just,
do some crazy shit where they spin around with the ball and then shoot a 3.
That's what I want to see. I want to see star athletes
Being really good at the game,
being
and they were like
just mindlessly doing
like head
what they're
ass
good
just
at.
shots. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, Luka took one at like 3/4.
Yeah, just do something that
funny.
they don't normally do ever.
It's hilarious. I liked watching the game. It got a little boring by the 4th quarter because it was like, oh, brother,
Yeah.
a whole nother 12 minutes of this.
Right.
But it was fascinating to watch them just kind of like shoot wherever they wanted.
Yeah, and like have fun with each other, and like you always see them just like hate each other. Like,
Right.
It seem like they hate each other.
Yeah.
And now you get to see them have camaraderie and like
And you get the
somewhat be
bromance
competitive
stuff.
because they can't stop the competitiveness and
Right.
just like have fun.
Do you have the bromance stuff between Luka and
Yeah, where
Jokic?
they kiss during
Yeah,
halftime.
they made out in the background.
Larry Bird made them kiss in the locker room.
Right. Yep. So yeah, and
I think that's stupid too. I saw a lot of like,
so many people were like, "We gotta fix this."
yeah,
And
there
it's
was like I kept.
It's not
seeing-
supposed to be like the most watchable thing on
Right.
planet Earth. It's literally an exhibition game.
Yeah.
It would be like watching the fucking summer league,
Right.
and being like, "Well, these guys are taking it more seriously." It's like, yeah, because they have something to prove.
Right.
This is an exhibition game, yes, but they have something to prove. They're trying to make these teams,
Right.
Or they're
Yeah.
youngins. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to earn their stay in the NBA, and
Right.
there's no reason for you to get upset about it.
No,
So anyway,
it's stupid.
It was stupid. It's an exhibition game. I think let these guys have fun. And everybody's like, well, the MLB All-Star Game's better. It's like, yeah, because they have to play a game of baseball. They'll focus, right? This is something that's not quite second nature.
Yeah.
Because it's hold a bat. You have to have a glove. You know what I mean? Like you actually, I mean, they definitely don't take it as seriously. It's not like they're going to like let a ball drop because it's like the game starts to progress.
Yeah.
The game will have to progress to get outs.
Yeah.
To get outs, you have to progress the game.
If you want to know something that's really broken, go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's
sucks.
really sad.
Yeah, even all of the exhibition.
Because I've seen hits
that
of
sucks.
I've seen like the best hits of the Pro Bowl in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Boy, am I glad that they don't do that
I
anymore.
am too.
But
Yeah, I would much rather. I mean, like, listen, it sucks. It's boring,
it's supposed to be fun.
but whatever. They're having fun. Some people care about it, so
Yeah.
let them have it.
And some people were like, and I mentioned this while we were watching it, but I'm like, everybody was always like, oh, Jokic doesn't want to be there. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
The fuck? He said that. Yeah, there was that thing he said after where he's like, I don't really care about basketball or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's so many other reasons why he's shown he cares about basketball.
Right, and he also knows he's not dumb. He knows that people have this thought of him like not liking anything that he does, so he's probably playing it up a little bit now too.
And
I
actually,
would
someone
think.
did actually ask him like something that actually kind of like lit him up. Someone asked him, they're like, "What's his favorite horse?" And he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I have 25 of them now, but
Yeah.
it would probably be Sugarcane." She was like, or I don't know her name, but it was the first horse I ever bought. I still love her so much. And I was like, "Great."
Great. Yeah. What did you think about like the skills stuff, the dunk contest and whatnot?
I didn't really pay attention much to the dunk contest, but the skills challenge I was paying attention to.
Why didn't you pay much attention to the dunk contest? That's the best part. Even when it's not good, it's the best part.
I was on the phone with someone.
Oh.
But yeah, skills challenge and the 3-point I did watch. I even watched the Stephen Curry Sabrina one.
I missed that. I wanted
It
to
was
watch
really
it.
quick.
I missed it. But I heard it was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was actually really insane. It's insane that she lost by 1 to the greatest
Yep.
shooter of all time.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Crazy.
And she was shooting from the NBA 3-point line.
Yep. Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that's even more incredible. And that's whenever you're looking on like a basketball court that's like at your
long.
YMCA or whatever, that's actually like the 3-point line. It's like 4 feet behind like the free throw line or
Yep.
the top of the key or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so long.
It's very
It's
long.
so long.
Yeah.
Pause.
Pause. Yeah, I missed that.
The other thing I did this weekend was I found out how old some of my coworkers were.
Cool. We should talk about that for a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. But anyway, that was just off topic.
No, I'm glad you said that. That clears a lot of things up.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw some of the 3-point contest, and it was good. I enjoyed that.
I like the skills
enjoyed-
challenge because Anthony Edwards was in it. Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards is one of my favorite players too. Because he played on the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. So Kat was in the 3-point contest.
He was, yeah. I missed. No,
He did pretty good.
Yeah, he actually did
did
pretty good.
better
he
than
made
I
it-
thought he
Yeah,
would,
he made
too.
it to the finals.
Yeah.
He's got a shot that's made for the 3-point contest, in my opinion.
And not friend of the show, but avid disc golfer Lowry Markkinen.
Truly?
Did not. Yeah, loves disc golf. Legitimately is a big.
Is
fan
it
of
like a
disc golf.
Finnish thing?
Yeah, it's huge over there, and all of those like Sweden, Finland. What's the one? that-
Netherlands? The Netherlands?
Yeah. What's the fucking one that?
Denmark?
No, it's not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts if I can't
Iceland?
think of it.
Greenland?
No, it's a smaller one. It
Montenegro?
starts with a C.
Croatia?
Maybe it's Croatia. I don't know. There's one of them that. Yeah. Anyways, all of those like
Czech Republic?
Nordic countries love it. Love disc golf.
Copenhagen?
No, I can't. It doesn't matter. That's a
Okay.
place in Denmark.
I know.
But yeah, he avid disc golfer.
Cool.
Did not make it into the finals though.
But I think
But I like the dunk contest. It was good. I'm glad they brought Mac back.
plays for the Magic now. Everybody's like, he should be on a team. It's like, dude, have you seen this guy play?
Is
Like,
he not good?
I mean, like he plays good in the
Yeah.
G League, but it's like, I don't know.
Because our friend of the show went to high school with him and is friends with him. We talked about it last year.
Totally forgot about that.
Our Titanic friend, Thomas.
Yeah. Flashback.
Third episode. Third episode call in, still friend of the
Yeah.
show. Just saw him recently.
At SneakerCon.
No, I saw him at the Goodwill. And
Around here?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants me to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways because it was really funny. It was the first time he actually just moved back here.
Okay, cool.
He's living here now with his fiance, and that was the first time I'd seen him. I think I saw him somewhat recently, but I didn't see
He
him
called
in
in
a long
another time. He called in twice.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was the second thing he called in about? Titanic was the first one when
And then
Bobby
it was
on.
whenever they. It was something else. He called in as like
I
a
know what you're
consultant.
talking about.
It was like a history museum of the Titanic stuff where they found like an
That's
old
the
letter.
one we were just talking about. Oh, it was another Titanic thing.
Yeah.
He
And
called in for that?
And he talked about Pigeon Forge and stuff.
That was the first time. I think you're mixing up. I
No,
think he
there
only
was two
called in
times.
once.
No, he called in. Swear to God, he called in 2 times.
We'll look into it, but I think you're absolutely wrong. I think you're thinking about Bobby, who was on twice.
Really?
I don't think Thomas was on twice.
Really? Okay, well maybe not. Sorry.
But anyways, off-topic story. But yeah, I saw him, and again, first time I'd seen him in a long time. He said, "What's up?" And I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And like, he surprised me. I didn't know he was gonna be there. And like after I said what's up, he just takes his hat off and he was like, "I got really high last night and shaved my head." And I was like, "What?" And then I got up this morning, looked in the mirror, and I was like, "What the fuck did I do?" And he's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And again, it's like the first time I'd seen him in so long, and that's the first thing he said
First
to
thing
me.
he thought of.
I don't think he would mind me sharing that because he kind of talked about that on the show when he called it in. But yeah, friend of the show, he went to high school with Mac. I don't know if they're still friends. I can't speak on that just because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've never talked to him about it, which I should. But yeah, that's his.
Swear to
That's his
God, he
friend.
talked about Pigeon Forge though.
He did on the first when he called in. You
Was
must
that
have
the letter
remember
thing?
listening back to it when Bobby was on. Because you probably listened to it.
No,
because
I
you
did.
weren't there when Bobby was there.
I know I did, but I'm just saying, like,
That was
swear to
Pigeon
God, he called
Forge.
it another time.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right,
We talked about again. Bobby came back on
right.
when we talked about Titanic stuff later on. But yeah, I don't believe Thomas called in about that. But the dunk contest was good. I enjoyed it.
Obi
I
Toppin's
think
little
last
brother
year,
played in it.
Who's Toppin?
Obi Toppin's little brother, like,
I don't even know what that is. I honestly only
plays
saw
for
the
the
end of
Pacers.
it.
Oh,
I only
okay.
saw when Jaylen Brown was still in.
and everybody was booing him for winning.
Yeah,
There was the Boo Birds were out.
the Boo Birds. I thought last year was better, just because Mac was just like it was crazy.
He was
like,
actually dominating it.
you know, nobody knew who he was. I mean, I did, and I'd seen like because of Thomas, but also I just like seen some of his like high school
over time, you used to
highlights.
post him a lot.
His highlights from high school are like nuts.
Crazy, yeah.
But nobody knew who he was. It was just kind of like this unknown, unnamed guy, and he just like came out and just like blew everyone's mind. Not that he didn't do that this year, of course, but
Yeah.
like it was definitely like a spectacle last year. Where it was like this year, it's like okay, let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah.
And I think he did. I think he
Yeah.
rightfully won, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. And everybody was like, dude, like Jaylen Brown should not have made the final.
Yeah, I didn't see
a lot-
any of his other dunks.
Me neither.
And
but
like
there-
the dunks
people
he
were like,
did,
this is like,
jumping over Kai Cenat, sitting in a chair.
yeah.
I was
Wow.
like, and
He's
then did like
5'4".
it looked like he did a dab. I
Dab?
don't know what he was
Yeah.
doing. I thought the left-handed glove thing was cool.
Yeah. And the reason why they booed was because he changed the court. They have a digital court for All-Star Weekend this weekend. They changed it to the TD Garden.
Oh.
And people were like, they did not like that. He also did a tribute to one of the players that was supposed to be drafted last year, 2 years ago, who died in a car accident
Okay.
before he got drafted.
I did see that.
Yeah, and he did a tribute to them too. So
Yeah. Yeah, so it was cool. Again, it's just like I just remember the spectacle of the ones like years and years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking back to like, of course, I can't remember his fucking name.
Blake Griffin, Shaq,
Yeah, Blake, but even before that, fuck, I can't.
Gerald Green.
No,
Oh, okay.
God, I'm forgetting everything today. He put a Superman cape on.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, like when and the dunk contest was him in it. Like, that's when I remember like watching it on TV as a kid and being like,
A couple people on Twitter were saying that the one that really like changed the tide for the worse was whenever John Collins did dunk over like a model airplane and put on like a scarf and like some goggles.
I don't remember that at all.
I think it was a tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, I think, or something like that, and it was very like weird. And, like he
Okay.
rolled out like this model plane
that was small.
that was small, yeah, that he could jump over, and then like hit the wing, so the
Oh,
wing
really?
broke, yeah. So then people were like, this is like the last, like that really changed the dunk contest for the worst.
I mean, yeah, last year I felt like I was like, okay, now we're in a new echelon. And again, I don't think
I thought the
this
one
year-
where Hamidou Diallo won was pretty good.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
The
don't.
last one I remember before this was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
I remember Aaron
was
Gordon
crazy.
coming back and then losing again.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah.
I actually do remember
Yeah.
because I was like, let's do it again. And
yeah.
then it was
He
like,
was doing some
I don't
crazy
know anything.
ones, and then they're like
Yeah.
47.
Yeah.
They got Dwayne Wade. They got Dwayne Wade for that one too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. What a
What a weekend.
What a weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that needs to be changed about it.
No, I
think
think
just keep it as
there's
is.
no reason to make it any more competitive. If anything, just shorten the quarters. It doesn't have to be a
That's
full.
up to the players.
What's that?
It's up to the players to make it more
Yeah,
competitive.
yeah, 100%. I
And
think
they
just,
don't want to, then don't make them.
and if you're worried about it being boring, just shorten the game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, and then they'll probably be like, oh, this is too short.
Right. I don't know. Let's make it a full game. Why? Why
Or
not?
honestly, make the shot clock like 20 seconds for the All-Star weekend or something
Yeah.
like that.
Whatever.
Just do like some weird experiments with that, just to, like maybe see what happens. Like honestly, gotta put a 4-point line. 'Cause
That would
they
be
do
fun.
They do it for the Celebrity All-Star game.
They put a 4-point line.
They have like the Ruffles 4-point line.
Oh, what the fuck? They should definitely do that for
Yeah,
the All-Star
yeah,
game.
yeah,
That'd be
I know.
awesome.
Yeah, it'd be sick just to like have it and be like, well, how many players are doing it? Like actually,
Yeah, or give them like extra points for doing like a crazy dunk or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything, whatever.
make it fun.
Yeah,
Like make it a
fuck
little
up
bit.
the rules. Who
yeah.
cares? If it's not going to work as a competitive, real full-length basketball game.
Try out
then-
some new rules.
Yeah, do
make them
something, make it
allow
fun.
them to tip the ball out or something like that.
Yeah,
Like FIBA rules.
do a thing where Kai Cenat gets drafted
Get rid of the
in.
defensive 3 seconds or something like that if you want to make it
Yeah.
more competitive.
What? Do something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
Whatever. Why do I have to do this?
Yeah. Why is it
Why do I
my
have to
job to
make
come
the
up with these rules?
Anyways, okay, let's jump into it. Trump.
Do me go restart the camera.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. I think it's probably not run out yet, but might as well. Big news. Oh, it did, really?
Yeah.
Is it full?
Nope.
No, it's still recording?
Yeah, it's still recording.
Wonder why I cut off so early then.
the battery.
Oh, battery's dead?
Yeah.
Okay. You vamp for me for a second, not about this next topic, while the battery changed. I don't know, talk about something.
Yeah, I think
got nothing.
Also, one of the things that I was worried about is people always clown on Cat for literally everything. I mean, no joke, literally for everything. One of the things that he scored 50, but he scored 50 in kind of like a ridiculous manner. Like they just kept handing the ball, and also, to be fair, the Timberwolves head coach was also the coach, and that was the first time a Timberwolves head coach was the All-Star game coach since 2003, 2004. So it's been literally 20 years since they did that. So I was really, honestly, I loved seeing all the content coming out from the Timberwolves organization about this stuff, because it's not every year that you get 2 NBA All-Stars on the Timberwolves, and almost 3, because I think Rudy Gobert should have made it in too, because he's had a great defensive campaign this year. Speaking as a Timberwolves fan. Again, I picked up Timberwolves. One of the reasons I even picked up the Timberwolves was because of NBA 2K15. Me and my brother bought it for a discounted price of like $15 or something like that at Slackers. And and the Timberwolves were bad in 2014-15. So, what do you know? If you're playing my career, you get drafted to one of the worst teams in basketball. So I got drafted to them. So I really fell in love with that team. I really liked Andrew Wiggins. Someone tried getting me. They're like, who was on that team? And I'm like,
knew.
I knew. I'm like Shabazz Muhammad, Gorgie Zhang, Ricky Rubio, Zach LaVine.
I don't know. You don't need to prove it to me. I
Okay,
believe you.
yeah. I'm trying to think of. There was someone else, Cole Aldrich, who recently spoke out against something for the Timberwolves.
Okay.
It was just like interesting.
If you would have asked me when I got in the Nuggets when Melo was on the team, just because I thought they had a funny name.
Yeah, have you seen the beef that's going on with
Carmelo was on
Melo
there.
and George Karl, the former Nuggets coach?
No.
On Twitter, they keep calling each other out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but
didn't know
George
anything
Karl
about that.
is calling Jokic the best player in Nuggets basketball history to wear number 15.
Oh, I see.
And it's the real George Karl.
Okay.
The player, literally the coach who invented like the 7 seconds or less, like play
I
style.
don't know what that is.
They basically just didn't. They just don't rebound. They just like shoot it and then run down the other court. If they
I
get it,
see.
if they don't get, they never offensive rebound. It's just a quick play of pace.
Yeah.
He was part of the team that I think he coached the. I think he did coach the Nuggets whenever they scored like the most points in NBA history. The game that had the most combined points in NBA history because it was like a double overtime game in the late 80s.
Oh shit.
He was part. He was the
so
coach.
He's old.
Yeah,
he
he's
didn't
old,
coach
old.
Melo.
No, I think he did.
Oh, okay.
He was always kind of around.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, if you would have asked me
I
who
might
was
have
on
been
that
wrong
team,
with
I
that,
would have been
but-
like Carmelo Anthony. That's all I remember. I don't.
You don't
I didn't
remember
pay
anybody
any-
else?
No, I didn't watch any of the games.
Not even like Andre Miller or anything.
I didn't watch any of the games. I knew that Carmelo Anthony was on a team called the Nuggets, and I thought that was really funny that there was a team called the Nuggets, and that Carmelo's name was also the name of a candy bar,
That's true. Yeah.
and that just stuck with me because it was just for whatever reason. Then
This
I
guy
was
was
just
a
like,
funny
yeah, I guess
kid.
that's my team.
This guy was a funny kid.
That was pretty funny. Because you got to have something when you're a fat kid. You got to have something going for you.
Shooting threes.
You're not really good at sports at all because you don't try.
That's the. Oh my God. That's
the
the.
second time you've done it. Every time it's
yeah,
scared
every
the
time.
shit out- every time I pucker up over here, waiting for a spill.
The stereotype now is that fat kids are good at shooting threes.
I mean, I'm okay at it. I haven't played basketball in a long time,
Yeah, because you got rid of the hoop.
but I can shoot a pretty nasty 60-footer in disc golf.
Yep, that's what a lot of people are. That's what a lot of people are worried about nowadays.
That's what people want to know. They're like,
They're
can you
like-
shoot a three? And I was
they're
like,
like,
probably, but
Fat boy can not shoot a three, but this guy better be able to throw a 60-footer in disc golf.
watch me fucking jump out a 60-footer, baby girl. Make those panties drop.
Yep, that'll get him.
I've done that many a times on the course.
Actually, I
It's
bet.
crazy, dude. It's so crazy. What a crazy life I live. So moving on, we're gonna talk about Donald Trump. You heard of this guy? He went to Philadelphia Sneaker Con this past weekend,
How good.
which I'm gonna pull up this post. It was posted by Complex. I won't show it. Speaking of, I need to stop the recording.
That's gonna be the biggest file.
Yeah, probably. Posted by Complex Sneakers and in collaboration with Complex on Instagram. And this is what I first saw that said Donald Trump says he's attending SneakerCon, and I was like, here we go. So Donald Trump posted on Truth Social on this would have been Friday, the 16th.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon. Looking forward to being at SneakerCon at Philadelphia Convention Center, Pennsylvania at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Definitely was posted by him for sure. Then leaving for a big rally, capitalizing big and rally in Michigan. So I was like, there's no way. That doesn't
Stopping
make
at the
any
Four
sense.
Seasons in Philly.
Right. So SneakerCon even posted a
Official statement.
official statement because either they knew they were going to get backlash or they already were, and said SneakerCon's mission is to support and promote sneaker culture through our worldwide live events and digital platforms. We are thankful and appreciative of the sneaker community and recognize individuals who generate awareness and authenticate sneaker-related engagement towards our community.
Do you think, before we get into it, do you think he brought any publicity to SneakerCon in Philly?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure. I mean, that's
To
because
be
that was
quite
my
honest
thought.
with you, I didn't know that the SneakerCon was this weekend.
it's not really anymore. I don't think. I would, let me rephrase that. I would have to imagine that SneakerCon is not as big as it used to be.
Yeah, 100%,
because sneaker culture isn't
as big
really right now.
Yeah, no.
And part of me is always like, is that the truth or is that just how I feel because I'm not into it as much? But I think that's the general consensus.
I mean, I still follow a lot of guys who I used to follow whenever I was really into sneakers.
Yeah.
And they don't really have many updates about it.
They're grasping at straws. I've seen
Yeah.
some of them. I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? They're talking about Teslas now and shit.
Yeah, and
Really
like doing, and
nothing
then, like
else.
there's, you know, I think one of my favorites. One of them moved over to golf. I think
Oh,
Cousteau.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cousteau.
Yeah, is it?
It's Cousteau.
Cousteau.
Yeah. Jacques Slade.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Slade. Yeah, I love
He's
that
cool.
guy.
I never watched any of his stuff, but I've always
He's
just thought he was a
really
cool guy.
he's got that shit down to a
Interesting
science.
backstory too.
He's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, I that was kind of my thinking with that is it's like if I was SneakerCon Philly, I would have not done that. But they definitely orchestrated that to happen because it's also interesting that reply or that response from SneakerCon came out so quickly. It's like they had it loaded.
Yeah, they had that loaded and ready to go. They knew he was coming.
Well, they definitely knew he was coming because it was like a whole press conference thing.
Yeah.
That they did with him. So they were definitely behind the scenes orchestrating it to happen. So, because at first I was like, if I was SneakerCon, I would have been like, no, you can't come. Because I thought it was just going to be, he was just going to be there and walk the floor.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like,
sure.
why? Because
Yeah.
it's like, if you don't know what SneakerCon is, it's just a big sneaker selling convention. People can buy booths or they can just bring in shoes to sell.
Barter,
Yeah, barter, trade, whatever.
buy, sell, trade.
Yeah. And
Sneakers.
so that's what I just thought it was. That's all I knew of it being. So I was like, he's just going to show up and go buy some sneakers?
Right.
Like,
No,
what is
exactly.
this?
Like, is he gonna sign some sneakers
Right.
and be like, these shoes that are really good?
They're very great. So I just thought it was stupid. I was like,
Bigly.
why? If I was SneakerCon, I would have been like, no, you can't come. But they were
Right.
definitely orchestrating it because he showed up and did a whole press conference thing. So I'll just read. This is from NBC News. If anybody was wanting, so this is he showed up and
Debuted sneakers.
debuted his own sneakers.
I think he had 2 different models, or was it just one?
I believe it was 2. Well, I'll show some pictures.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably should have kept recording because I am going to show those off. Whoops.
Oh,
But yeah, so this is mostly about the sneaker debut. So if anybody's waiting for the other shoe drop in the upcoming presidential race, former President Donald Trump just did, launching his own line of tennis shoes on Saturday. I've wanted to do this for a long time, Trump said when he
I wanted to do this for a really long time.
a really long time. The launch of a sneaker line at SneakerCon in Philadelphia. I have some incredible people that work with me on things, and they came up with this, and I think it's going to be a big success.
Yep.
Insert that quote into anything he's ever done. The NFTs, all that shit.
The NFTs, the
He has
Trump Stakes,
No idea what's going on.
the Trump University.
They go, we have a thing that can make you money. We're going to get you into SneakerCon, and it'll sell your shoes.
They've been working on this very hard.
Sure, whatever. In his brief remarks at the sneaker launch, Trump indicated the line could be an effort to reach out to younger supporters, saying, "We're going to turn this country around fast. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to remember the young people, and we're going to remember SneakerCon." That's a great quote.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow. Where did he get that?
He was met with a mostly enthusiastic crowd, though some occasional boos permeated. Thank you. Through the cheers. The line called Trump Sneakers is available for pre-order online. It features 3 different pairs of tennis shoes, a pair of high tops, a pair of red laces athletic shoes, and a pair of white laces athletic shoes. And then it kind of just goes on to explain the shoes, which we'll show in a second. And Biden's campaign mocked it, but it wasn't Biden saying it, so I don't really care to talk about it that much. Seeing if there's anything else important, and then just kind of goes into like
Donald Trump
sneaker
is
culture
launching
and
his
stuff. And, well, it goes into like the history of sneaker culture and politics, which
Yeah.
is like they're just looking for filler.
They
so
always
let's
do that at the end of this.
every single
Every
time.
single time.
And it's like this is long enough.
It's sold out. Fuck.
Yeah, so this is the
Dude!
This is on get
No.
GetTrumpSneakers.com.
Oh, dude.
The high tops are called the Never Surrender high tops. Meet the Never Surrender high tops. Only 1,000 pairs will ever be released.
Wow.
Each pair is numbered, a true collector's item. The first official sneaker by President Trump released at SneakerCon Philadelphia on the day
the day he was the day he was convicted of owing 300.
Right.
It was
that day.
I think it was
They
like
mentioned that in the article
yeah.
too.
It was the same day that happened. Very interesting. I'm curious to know
Weird
where
timing.
those funds went.
Bold, gold, and tough, just like President Trump. That's what it says on the website.
Bold, gold, and just like me.
I can't wait to. I've never read any of this. They're for the go-getters who don't know the word quit or acquit
Well,
or acquit it.
truly.
With a standout gold finish and the T badge. T badge. I remember one
Dude, I
time
remember-
in Fortnite I used to T badge
Yeah.
people.
It's so crazy that they mentioned the T badge because that's so like synonymous with the Trump name.
Yeah, the T badge. What's up, T badge?
I teabagged
your little brother once.
I teabagged people on Halo.
Halo, yeah.
Yeah.
That was where T badging was invented.
It was invented.
These kicks are for true patriots.
Hell yeah.
Wrapped with an American flag on the collar, they shout out to the brave and the free. The Never Surrender sneakers are your rally cry. Good timing with that. In shoe form. Lace up and step out ready to conquer. With only 1,000 pairs. Okay, this is one of those situations where it's just either me being dyslexic or I don't know if I'm just hearing the sentence. But the sentence sounds so weird to me. With only 1,000 pairs ever to be released.
Yeah, with only 1,000 pairs ever to be released.
It just seems like a weird wording. Grab your limited edition pair now. The Never Surrender high tops are estimated to ship by July 2024. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. And these ones went for $399.
Fucking shit, dude. That's so expensive.
I wish there was a promo
that's like big
this.
baller brands shit.
Yeah, and they look like big baller brand shit because they look like fucking Supras. If you remember Supras,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber had a collaboration with them.
Yeah.
They were just like Osiris's. Almost.
Yeah. Scroll down.
Yeah, because I want to talk about the
there
other
was another
shoes.
shoe down there.
There is.
Okay.
There's two more.
Did they release those on the same day? The POTUS.
Oh, these are still available. The POTUS 45. These are still available. These are really rotten, dude. Holy
Wow.
shit. And you can tell both these and the gold. Actually, the gold ones are real because he pulled them out. These are very obviously a Photoshop mock-up because this is not a real shoe. This is not at all. This is all Photoshopped on, and you can tell for sure.
What? No. Nuh-uh.
So, like, dude, you can even see that they didn't even look at the difference in gray from here to inside the loop.
Jesus.
They didn't even bother taking that out.
No, dude, these are totally different. Like, not only that, but like, look at the pixelation on the wing here compared to the 45.
Or on the shoe compared to the patch.
Wow,
That's
that is
amazing.
really bad.
So let's read these. These are the POTUS 45, still available, so we could buy a pair.
I am not investing my money in Donald Trump.
I don't know if these are limited though. So let's. Ooh, this is gonna get interesting. Here come the POTUS 45. That's a weird way to start it out.
Here come the POTUS 45.
Here come the first white knits by Trump sneakers.
Well,
another collectible. That's a whole other sentence.
Dude,
the
Trump
first white knits
people-
by Trump sneakers. Period. Another collectible.
Wow.
The sneakers that mean business, inspired by President Trump. They're a choice for anyone ready to take on the world with style and confidence. These aren't just any sneakers. They're a power play for your feet. What does that mean?
They're a power play for your feet.
They're gonna play with your feet.
They're gonna play with your feet.
We're gonna play with your feet.
We take pictures of your feet and sell them on the internet as NFTs.
The shoes have little cameras built into them that will take pictures of your feet and upload them to Trump's personal Dropbox.
Yeah.
With their crisp white knit and striking gold 45, recognizing Trump's presidency. Oh, that it? I don't even know.
Was
They're-
Trump president? No, was the
Now-
45th president.
May I ask a question, Mr. President? What does the POTUS 45 mean?
Does that stand for anything?
What does that mean, Mr. President? They're a pair that stands out in the crowd.
Yeah, I'll say because
Hopefully
you will
not
look
outside
like
the White
you will
House.
look like a KKK member.
Yep. You will be
100%.
targeted.
You will
actually, but you will stand out very clearly
as
the
being a
government.
fucking bigot. Congratulations.
They will know who
you will be
was-
put on a watch list if you purchase these sneakers.
If you wear these sneakers, people will know who was at January 6th very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is a great sentence.
You'll get
So,
charged with January 6 crimes against humanity.
You will be brought to
Justice.
a court. You will be brought to justice with these shoes on. So this sentence ends with, they're a pair that stands out in the crowd, period. And that American flag, shout out to honor and ambition. What the fuck?
And that American
And that
flag.
American flag, shout out to
And that
honor
American
and
flag.
ambition.
Shout out to honor and ambition.
The POTUS 45 are estimated to ship in August of 2024. That's why they only have a mock-up,
Jesus.
because they don't even have the fucking shoes yet. Now, these aren't limited. Let's check out these red ones and see if the description's any different. Okay, it kind of is. I'm sorry, but I do have to read it.
This is the T-Red Wave.
T-Red Wave!
Red Kingdom.
See what sizes are. Let's see what sizes it goes up to. 13?
That's it? I know
I
some
can't
people
buy
that are
this
probably bigger than a size 13 that would vote for Trump.
Oh, yeah. John Fetterman? Catch the red waves, the latest heat from GetTrumpSneakers.com. They put the
latest
whole
heat.
thing.
From GetTrumpSneakers.com.
These aren't just sneakers. They're a bold statement for those who ride the tide of change with courage and conviction.
And blood.
Drenched in a vibrant red and sporting the Fearless 45, the red waves are for the front runners who step boldly into a courtroom. It didn't say that part. I added that in.
Oh, okay.
With the American flag detail.
whenever you have to reach a settlement for your kids.
I was gonna, not even talking about January 6th, talking about when you need to figure out who's gonna get custody of your children.
Step into court with these.
on. And embrace the red wave. With the American
Tweet with your verified badge on X.com.
with these shoes
with
on.
these shoes on.
With the American flag detail, they're your pledge to walk with passion and pride. The T-Red Wave knit are estimated to ship in August of 2024.
Jesus Christ, man. Can they meet a fucking deadline?
I will be surprised if they even ship by
No,
then.
100% they're not. If
And that's not even just a knock on this. That's just a knock on anything that has an estimated shipping time.
Yeah, because they're going to ship in like
But, you know.
November, October, December.
But especially 'cause
Well, I mean, to be honest with you,
for
even whenever I
Christmas.
bought Yeezys, those were out.
you bought them recently.
Relatively recently.
Not really.
No, not really. It was like 5 years ago.
I bought Yeezys too.
I think it was
Not
4
recently.
years ago at this point.
Yeah, probably same.
It
for me,
took
4 or 5.
it took like 16 weeks for me to get mine.
Yeah.
From the official Yeezy supply
Yep.
website, dude.
That didn't
Like
surprise
that's terrible. And they guaranteed that I was getting those. They didn't say
Yeah.
estimated ship date. This one has an estimated ship date. They are never getting those.
Hey,
They're never getting those in hand.
if he goes to prison, which won't happen.
Well, you never know.
If he goes to be the president. So yeah, I mean, I love it, dude. This is so funny. I saw somewhere, of course I forgot to put it in the doc, just a couple things that I saw that I wanted to talk about that I can't pull up currently, but there was someone at SneakerCon who bought the first pair signed by Trump for $9,000 I saw
Jesus.
at SneakerCon, and it was just like the whitest kid or the whitest man you've ever seen who bought them, no surprise. And then this one really like shocked me, but also not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be a little question for you here in a second. 2 sneaker people that I follow that I'll just say right now took a picture with Trump. One of them was like a photo op, and the other one was like a picture that they were probably like, "Can we take this picture?" And one of them was this guy. I believe his account name or what he would go by is 2J's Kicks. He
Never heard of
owns Urban Necessities, which is out of Vegas. I think they have a couple other shops. He also has a YouTube channel that I used to watch quite a bit. One of my favorite videos he ever did was this sneaker collector named Mayor. He goes by Mayor. He's friends with Fat Joe and stuff like that. nutty sneaker collection, crazy. Like if you ever get into sneakers or just want to learn more about it, just watch a video that like Complex or Urban Necessities did with Mayer. It's like crazy. Like he's just got shoes you've never seen before.
One of ones, a lot of one of ones probably.
Yeah, like crocodile Air Force Ones that like aren't even released, like just crazy shit. But they did a video where they were like buying most of his collection because he lost a ton of weight, and so his shoe size went down because of that. But anyways, he's been around for a long time, and he was in the photo op, and then also posted a picture with Trump being like, I don't know, it was some like corny ass caption that was like not really saying he supported him, but also being like, wow, my life's crazy kind of shit. And then people in the comments were mostly like, yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah. Like that's the best president.
That's my
like I'm so
boy.
proud of you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I was like, ugh. And then this guy, Benjamin Kicks, who you might know as he's DJ Khaled's friend when he was like 16.
Damn.
And he was the one that made up the how's business booming.
Yeah.
He's the booming guy. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's him. He also posted a picture with him. And then someone was like, made a comment being like, why the fuck would you post this? And he was like, literally said something along the lines of like, I don't do anything with politics. I just wanted to post a picture with him. And that got me thinking because I was like, I've thought about this for a long time.
There was a lot of like outrage on my side of TikTok, on Twitter, X, whatever, where there was a picture of Shane Gillis floating around of him and Trump.
Of him and Trump at UFC.
And Shane Gillis has talked about it on his podcast or something like that somewhere. It was at UFC, and he was wearing like a Gucci shirt, and he's like, it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
And and in my opinion, if I saw Donald Trump, it would be so fucking hilarious to take a picture.
Dude, and that's what I thought about. It's like, I would definitely take a picture with Trump if I had a chance.
Yeah, but I wouldn't seek it out. I wouldn't seek it out.
No.
I wouldn't be like, oh, dude, Donald Trump photo op at a Republican Republican gun show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that.
And the thing with Shane Gillis that I think is always is he kind of he definitely rides a line.
Yeah, he definitely rides a line.
So that one I can kind of understand because like,
but then a whole bunch of people were quoting him being like, dude, I would totally like take a picture with Donald Trump.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure
they're like, I fucking hate him.
Yeah,
but it's like I would still get a picture with him.
I've always wanted to know what he said about it after because I'm sure he's spoken about it many times. But yeah, totally, I would take a picture with him, and I would make a stupid fucking face, and it would be obvious that it was a joke, and I would like caption it with like, I just met a prisoner or what, I would like caption it with like, I met a convicted criminal or something. It would be obvious.
My favorite fraud,
It would be obvious, but the fact that these guys are like posting it like they think it's the coolest thing ever, even whether they say they're political or not, is like, ugh, you're just
it'd be funny.
You're just very dull,
right?
And that's just like, yeah, it's just it's a completely different thing to me when it's just like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think. It can mean two different things. It can be that, or it can be the political thing.
Yeah, right.
And I think that they were leaning more probably political, right in the line. Maybe leaning that way.
Right.
Just
because they also did the photo op with him that was like promotional thing for Trump.
Right.
And for SneakerCon. That wasn't that was like they could have been like, nah, I don't want to do that, or I'll just take a picture with him on my own.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that they were in that photo with other people that I didn't recognize. Yeah, they were there. They knew what they were doing.
Right, exactly.
And and
I don't think I would ever post it, but I would probably just send it in group chats all the time.
I would post it. If I got a picture with Trump making some like face where I was like, or like doing some weird face.
Or doing the 2 thumbs up with him. Yeah.
Or doing the
Or
like, hey, Trump, dance with me.
They're doing the 2 dicks thing, yeah.
I would, of course, of course I would take it. Of course I would post it, but it would be very obvious. Of course. And again, it's like there's so much more important shit to worry about. I'm not like, this is not keeping me up at night. I don't give a fuck.
You're not gonna cancel the guys over like taking a picture.
No, whatever. I think I unfollowed them, but I was also just like, I don't even know why I'm following you anyway.
Yeah, it was like kind of like a reminder of like, oh yeah, I probably should have followed this person a while ago.
That happens to me a lot, where like someone will post something and I'm like,
I'll go boost it up.
I'm like, right, and then I click on their account and I unfollow.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you.
Unfollow. Right, you exist. Okay, let's go ahead and unfollow. I mean, whatever. Who actually gives a shit?
Who cares?
It's just funny and like it's just so these dudes are such goobers for doing that.
So then today, this is news from today. So this is from Yahoo Blast. I don't fucking know.
Yahoo Blast.
I don't know. That's what it says. You see that? It says BL star AST
Holy shit.
or BL star ST. GoFundMe addresses calls to halt Donald Trump. To halt Donald Trump fundraiser launched to pay $355 million fine.
You're playing that the whole time, and I loved it. It's not like Art to Delete.
GoFundMe has an answer for those who have asked if Donald Trump's fundraiser on their site goes against their policy.
And I was asking. I was like, what are you going to do about this GoFundMe?
The page so far has raised over $500,000 since being launched to help the billionaire mogul, billionaire, I put that in air quotes, pay off the $355 million fine from his New York fraud trial. GoFundMe says the fundraiser is currently within our terms of service. In the aftermath of Trump being slammed with the whopping $355 million fine for fraudulently inflating his assets in a financial documents by a New York court, MAGA supporters started raising funds via GoFundMe to offset the fine for the billionaire mogul. The page, launched by Elena Cardone, the wife of real estate mogul Grant Cardone, has since raised over $500,000 and counting. However, several individuals took to social media to call out GoFundMe, saying that the fundraiser violates their policy. Some even put up screenshots of the company's terms of service in a bid to draw their attention to their complaints. In response to the call-outs, Jalen Drummond, director of public affairs of the company, told Newsweek, quote, "This fundraiser is currently within our terms of service. This means that the fundraiser will be allowed to continue, allowing more MAGA supporters to pool their funds for the embattled billionaire and business mogul." An expert claims that the Donald Trump GoFundMe won't cover the interest on the fine.
Yeah.
Which is correct. I didn't even know that. Yeah.
And it'll be taxed and yada, yada, yada. I mean, he won't get much out of it.
Yeah. While any decision on whether he has to pay up could well be held up in the appeals process, Trump, his lawyers find... What? This is also one of those examples. While any decision on whether he has to pay up could well be held up in the appeals process, Trump's lawyers can find sufficient reason to persuade the judiciary to return his case to court, by no means a given, he will still have to deposit much of what he owes in escrow.
That was one sentence?
Yes.
That was a run-on sentence.
Yeah. Well, that's from University of Surrey American politics lecturer Dr. Mark Shanahan.
Oh, so it's not Yahoo Blast's fault.
No. It's a direct quote from him.
Okay.
Trump is expected to pay a 9% interest rate on the sum of damages as mandated by the state of New York. That's a little bit less than my student loans, but...
Jesus, that just made me depressed. And it's not. I don't even have to pay for it.
Additionally, per trial ruling on the case, the fine will, quote, continue to increase every single day until Trump complies. So
yeah, and it's interesting that somebody else set it up for him.
Yeah.
But did I miss you saying that it was in collaboration with his campaign? Did you say anything about that?
No, it was someone away from his campaign. It was completely separate away from his campaign.
So can he legally take that money?
He would have to.
He'd have to use it.
He'd have to use it directly for that fine.
Okay.
But like this person said, it wouldn't even cover the $500,000.
Right.
Or that wouldn't even cover the interest on that.
And then it being taxed once you take the money out.
Right.
Which that person who set it up has to pay.
And the GoFundMe stuff.
Percentage take. Yeah, I mean, listen, if it follows their guidelines, I don't know their guidelines. People are saying it doesn't, but then they're coming back and saying it does. If it follows it, then that's fine. If it doesn't, and they're trying to make a special excuse for it, then that's not cool. I mean, I've seen people try to pay off their legal fees all the time.
Yeah. Like then, that happens all the time on there. So
then whatever, I don't know. It's hilarious that it's hilarious.
I mean, yeah, you know
but
what?
The fact of like being like, we need to shut this down. It's like,
okay,
they're gonna figure out another way to get him money.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
And if it's not them,
ridiculous.
then it's someone else.
Yeah, which is
so.
But
just you know
gross.
What? Go ahead and keep giving your money to this. Matter of fact, put your whole life savings into it, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Sure.
I honestly feel I get your point of saying that, but when it comes to stuff like this, especially when it comes to
a GoFundMe.
No, whenever I think about things like this of giving money to a billionaire to pay off something that he fucked up doing because you love him so much, I always think of televangelists.
Yeah.
Because people have gone broke.
Yeah.
donating money to televangelists.
Yeah.
And Trump is no different, asking
Yeah.
for money for shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He just
It's
tries
more
to be a little bit
sad
more
than anything.
sneakily about it.
Yeah.
And it's sad that people fall for that grift so hard.
Really easily.
And that makes me more upset than anything. It's just like, I want to go to you and be like, you need to stop.
Like,
what
take
you're
a step
doing.
back.
Take a step back and really think about what you're doing. Because sometimes that does happen with a lot of these televangelist people. They'll come out of it and be like, I can't believe I ever did that. I can't believe I ever fell
Yeah.
for this. It's like, it takes a lot because you're in so deep at that point where you're donating money. But it's like, I see no difference between those two things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
No,
like,
they're exactly the same.
it makes me more sad than anything that people
Yeah.
do that. So just my opinion on it. Anything else from that, or is that but breaking news?
Then it goes on to the story analyst shit.
And then it talks about sneakers.
Yeah. He took to Truth Social to slam Arthur Engeron, the judge of the case, and Letitia James, the New York Attorney General. He called Engeron crooked and described James as corrupt. He also said the verdict was an un-American judgment against him, his family, and his tremendous business, adding that the radicals are doing all they can to kick him out. In a separate post, he went on to allege that the ruling was a case of election interference and witch hunting. Trump was the only one who felt this way, as MAGA supporters also took to social media to call Engeron and James. All this stuff.
Yeah, that should go over well.
No victim, no crime. It takes really twisted tooth fairy economics to fantasize a case like this, someone else commented.
Tooth fairy economics.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
You're on the pulse of it. So Carson, up next.
Yeah, let's watch this clip just real quick, and then we'll move on to our next door drama. We're kind of going over, so we could skip next door drama this week. What do you think? Should we skip it? You want to do it?
Whatever. I don't care.
Okay. Let's watch the clip, and then we'll go from there. So this was an ad on the Office Hours episode that we watched during the Paul Bryan segment.
Phil Braun.
And we thought it was really funny, and we got cool.
We get an ad on the ad.
And
what are the odds?
We really loved it a lot, so we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it again. This is quite a 6.6 views in one day.
Gotta fill this out somehow.
And this is from
Farm and Home.
Farm and Home Supply Company.
Make sure you unmute
And
the video.
it's titled "Deal of the Week: Dog Treats."
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Hi, this is Penny, and she's been working on a trick for 3 weeks here. She can't wait to show you guys.
All right, Penny, roll over. Roll over. Show them what you can do. Roll over.
Well, that's embarrassing. Well, normally we give Penny a treat when she does her tricks, but I guess since pig ears are only 85 cents at Farm and Home this week, we'll go ahead and give her one.
Wow.
Get them before they're gone this week at Farm and Home, and that's hotter than a basset hound on the track of a rabbit. Come here.
I just love that guy. He's just such a.
As a goober.
He's just a goo. I have nothing bad.
Nothing
to
bad
say about
at
him.
all.
He's
Like
just
that is actually.
He's just a goofy guy.
Yeah.
And
Very
Gavin,
awkward.
Yeah, Gavin and I loved it because it just felt like he's doing a bit.
Yeah.
But he's just being genuine.
Genuinely, like he tried his best, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I love whoever edited it and added the loud explosions right in the middle of him talking. In the beginning where he says, Penny's been learning this trick for 3 weeks.
85 cents.
Usually we give her a treat if she does the trick. I guess we'll give her a pig treat, a pig ear, because they're 89 cents.
85 cents.
Killer ad. Sorry we had to give you an ad. Sorry we had to do a little mid-roll.
Mid-roll ad.
What do we think? Should we do it? Or should we skip it?
I think we should skip it.
Let's skip it. We've been going on a little long. We're going to do a new thing going forward where next door drama becomes more...
As the crow flies. I don't fucking know.
where we might not do it every single week because we've just been doing longer episodes and this one's already way over. But just so we can cut back on time a little bit, we still love next door drama. It's still gonna be
around.
just not
still
every
gonna do
single
it.
episode.
Yeah.
Just as a if time permits, we will definitely do it because we love it and we want to keep doing it, but we also don't want to like
drag on the episodes.
Yeah, we don't want to get sick of it ourselves or get anybody else sick of it. So next door drama, we'll save this week's one for next week or the week after. No, most likely next week. So stay tuned for that. But to finish up the episode, something we will continue to do is called Whatcha Listening To, where every week Gavin and I recommend a song, album, or artist to each other, to the audience, and you can listen to them if you want. Gavin, do you know what you're listening to this week, my little friend?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, I am. Do know what I am doing.
Yeah, no, I am.
This week I'm listening to. I have a couple really good ones. So I have been getting more into. I don't even know what the genre is, but I guess it's more like dance electronic music, but not like EDM per se. It's still more that Justice stuff I showed you.
Oh yeah, like more like video game.
Video game like cyberpunk kind of like Daft Punk remix stuff. I don't know. But
I
anyway,
like that stuff too. Yeah,
no, I like. It's really nice to listen to, especially in the car, because it's like I'm more focused on like the rhythms and the samples and stuff like that, less on like the lyrics and then how the lyrics could apply to my life while I'm driving.
Well, yeah, and it's weird because you love writing down lyrics, but the problem is you do it while you're driving, which is like I've been telling you, that's dangerous, Gavin. You cannot try and write while you're driving.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to play the guitar and drive, but I somehow do it.
Yeah, you do that too. You're looking up tabs. You have a little speaker next to you.
Yeah,
and you're trying to play over the song, but you're always way out of rhythm.
Yeah,
You're
and
not
I
even
have my
tempo.
foot on the gas all the way to the floor.
And you're tapping your foot along to it.
Yeah.
And it breaks.
I have a click track going also in my ears.
You have in-ears?
Yeah, in-ear.
But the song is playing on the radio.
On the radio. And I'm like, in my ear, and then it's a whole bunch of it's always something way off compared to how fast I'm going. But anyway, shit, I just threw my phone. Yeah,
tuning it.
Tuning it. I have a tuner in my car, like on the front of the tire gauge.
You have like mounted. I was gonna
like
say you have a
heads-up display.
I was gonna say you have a tuning whistle, but that's funnier if you have if you have a tuner mounted
on the top of my steering wheel.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those like phone clips that you can hook onto your like vent or something, but you put a tuner on there.
No, I'm not kidding. They have those for guitars. They have like things you can clip onto the end so you can like rotate it and see it.
Oh yeah, they do. Just have
they
little
do.
clip
Yeah,
ones.
but that's what I mean. They
I
just
thought you were
clip
saying. I'm like, they have ones for your car. I was like, what? No, like how many people? Was this clowncore?
No. It's interesting you should say that. One of my friends was really trying to get me into like clowncore stuff, and I'm like,
I love clowncore.
I fucking hate that shit.
I love it so much.
It's so corny to me. I don't know. There's something about it, it's very try hard to me.
Yeah, I wonder if I would feel that way about it now. It's been a while since I.
It's like, okay, cool, you guys are doing weird shit to be weird.
I get it.
Yeah,
I definitely can get.
But so I put on the Generator new song by Justice, and then it will generate literally like a whole playlist for it afterwards, where it's like playing recommended things for you. So then I was like, I'm tired of listening to the same recommended songs, because that's what it does. It keeps. I know I'm dragging this on, but it does keep playing songs that like in that same order every single time after you're done listening to it for some reason on Spotify. It never mixes it up.
Yeah.
There's maybe a couple songs that switch, but it's usually in that same order. So I memorized the playlist in which it was by like the 5th or 6th time. So I'm like, I just want the song radio.
Yeah.
So I went to the song radio, and one of the first songs on there was this song called On and On, also by Justice, on their 2011 album Audio Video Disco, period. And this song, in all honesty, I don't know if they ever draw inspiration from Peter Gabriel or Genesis or anything like that, but a couple of these things are. A couple parts of this song are very similar to Genesis songs. One, they have a flute solo.
Oh.
And two, they have the lyrics. They don't sound like Peter Gabriel's lyrics per se, but the singer sounds like Peter Gabriel, like young Peter Gabriel. It's very odd, and they have like that same like phaser effect that they have on early Genesis songs, or at certain parts in Genesis songs under Lamb Lies Down. And kind of fell in love with this song, and. So that was the song, and then the radio moved on to the next song, because I put it on that song's radio. So then the next song, this is actually the one I'm recommending this week, is the Into the Galaxy by Midnight Juggernauts. Never heard of them, but it's actually incredibly well done. I think they try to sound like Bowie in this one, but it's a really Really good song. I fell in love with it immediately, and I'm really glad that the radio showed me this. So Into the Galaxy radio version,
Nice.
Midnight Juggernauts on Into the Galaxy. It was from 2004.
Whoa,
So
long time.
yeah,
ago.
they're pulling stuff. They're pulling some really deep cuts.
Let me see
for
like the
me.
cover of it.
They're pulling some deep cuts for me.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a listen.
Yeah.
I like. My thing about techno music.
It's not. It's not
not
instrumental. It's not instrumental.
Right,
either.
it has
yeah,
lyrics
it has
in it.
lyrics in it.
But it's electronic. You said.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely kind of like a battle tapes kind of thing. But it's
Yeah,
like
but it's
guitar
older,
based.
which I
yeah.
like. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, my thing about that is I don't really care too much for a lot of the newer stuff. I like older because I'm like, they actually had to try really hard to make this sound
Yeah.
like this. Whereas now it's like you have every sound in the world that you want.
Yeah,
on
they
your
actually
computer.
go purchase instruments to get those
Right,
sounds.
and not that I'm saying those people aren't talented who make
Yeah.
that stuff because we love battle tapes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
And
there's
some
something
people-
completely different to like older stuff.
For sure.
That's why
and
I love
I think
Portishead.
some people also are trying to do what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
There's a lot
exactly.
of people I know, like even like Floor Crying Vance, are trying to do what they did.
And I always give respect to the people who do it
Because
how they
it's
did it.
yeah, and it's just like it's insane to even try to figure out MIDI stuff. Have you ever looked at any of those chords
Yep.
and stuff? It's way not intuitive. It's so not intuitive.
It's nuts.
It's terrible to work with.
It
to be
looks
completely
insane.
honest with you, but
Yeah.
like someone was explaining it to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Why don't we just plug it all in and it works
'Cause
instead
you're
of having to
you're
like
a nerd and you love that stuff.
yeah?" But it's like, can we just not have to worry about programming what like the layers on it? No, yeah, it's just
Yep.
like, boy, oh
Crazy.
boy, am I glad that it's a little bit more a little bit more easy
Yeah,
now, a little bit easier
sure.
now.
for sure.
So yeah,
Well, I'm not listening to anything that interesting. No, I mean, I think it's interesting because this is the first two new singles from one of my, I guess I would say one of my favorite like metalcore bands, Wrist Meet Razor. They haven't released any new music since 2021. So this is two new singles called.
this is new again.
Yeah, this is new. Just came out, I think on Friday, I want to say. It's two new singles, Trepanation and No Ceremony. Really good. I love Wrist Meet Razor a lot. The first time I even knew anything about them is when I got to see them live and take pictures of them. Super nice people. The bassist, she posted pictures. She posted the pictures that I posted, or that I took, sorry. But I got to talk to the drummer, because one of the things, if you ever want to like meet or talk to a band you really like and you're like too awkward to approach them for any reason, literally, especially if they are a smaller band, just hang out by the stage, because they will have to move their shit off the stage and they will always be looking and waiting for a bandmate to come by and help them carry it down. So many times I've hung out by the stage, not even on purpose, but just like been there.
Accidentally, yeah.
And then like a drummer is like holding his like someone's holding something and they're like waiting and waiting. And then I just go like, do you want help? And so I think I did that with something, and I like helped him carry something, and we talked for a minute. And but just super nice people from what I can tell and what I experienced. And their music's great. They have kind of a new metal-y look to them, like they wear all black and like kind of like the Hot Topic-y like stuff.
Yeah.
But I love it. I just love that. But they're not really new metal sounding. Great band though. These two new songs are amazing. I can't wait
Hardcore,
to
right?
see. Yeah, metalcore.
Okay.
More of that kind of like metal-y, more melodic.
Okay.
Like hardcore is like no melody, no singing, whereas like metalcore is like a more melodic hardcore.
Right,
like there could be hardcore breakdowns, but it's more like there's some singing.
Screaming.
Or, yeah, there's some screaming, but there's also some more like singing or like, just less rhythmic and more melodic. But yeah, it's great. I'm super excited to see what comes next from them, and it's a new album. They announced a new album. I forgot when it's coming out, but
Keep track of all those albums. I've been doing that.
Yeah.
There's someone else that announced another album. MGMT is releasing a new
dude, they're
album.
going on Best Show
Really?
tonight, maybe even.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that today, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Best Show's had on I don't know if they're performing anything. I just know that they're both going to
They
be
had
on
on Ezra Klein from
Vampire Weekend.
Vampire
right?
Weekend,
Yeah. best.
And they're releasing a new album.
Yeah, they are for the first time in a long time, right?
It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
They had like Father of the Bride.
Blue Collar Wedding.
Yeah, no, Father of the Bride was the name of the album.
Oh, okay.
And like 2021. I didn't really like that album very much. I've tried listening to it, but they're an eclectic taste. I was very big fan of their Vampires of the Weekend or Vampires of the City album in 2013, 14ish.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that at that time. But going back and listening to the songs, I'm like, I'm cringe.
I can still listen to them and like still be into it, but I never really
they're
got
old
into
stuff,
them.
like 2011 stuff. That's good. Like Contra's good.
Yeah, whatever their like
And like
most
Vampire
well-known
Weekend.
stuff
Yeah.
is.
Like that's
this is
good.
stuff I like.
Yeah, those are good.
But yeah, I never truly got into them like that I can remember.
I had the CD.
I might be.
I'm dating myself with that one.
I wonder if if he came on Office Hours like a long
Is it
time
Ezra
ago.
No, is it Ezra Klein or Ezra Miller?
No, Ezra Miller's
The Vox guy.
The Flash.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is it Ezra Klein?
Definitely different.
No, Ezra Klein is a guy from Vox. Ezra Koenig is a guy from Vampire
That's
Weekend.
right. Because you said Ezra and then the last name, I was like, that's not.
Ezra Klein's the guy
hitting,
from
but-
Vox. Ezra Miller's the guy from The Flash.
Yeah.
And Ezra Koenig or Koenig.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's like C-O umlaut.
German.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have even been on Office Hours like a long time ago. I could be completely.
He seems like a
wrong
really
about
cool
that.
guy. I mean, genuinely, he seems like a really cool guy to hang out with.
Or maybe Tim is. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on all of that, but yeah, I just thought that was crazy that they're going to be on. I don't know. I want to know if they're performing because Best Show does do live.
Yeah, I've
live
seen
stuff.
That. Yeah,
now,
I've
which is
actually
cool.
once you mentioned that they do stuff, I was like, oh, I'll have to. I didn't know that I didn't know that he like did like a weekly show. I thought it was just like once every while.
Yeah.
And I've been following a guy who I think is a fan of that show, or anyway, kind of like a Phil Braun of that show. I think I followed him for a while, and he followed me back. Anyway,
Anywho, yeah, that's it, man.
well, everybody, thanks for listening to It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 155. Keep watching, keep listening. We'll be here listening to you. Thanks for all the views and comments and everything else that everybody shared, especially about the Malort. I didn't know so many people hated Malort that much.
Yeah.
And we had our second shot during the All-Star game, and that was really fucking bad that time.
Yeah, we should have talked
so
about
much
that.
worse.
It was so much worse than the first time. I don't know
100%.
what it was.
It might have been the spiciness, but also just
Or
because like
something with it being like out in the air. now? I don't know. It
I don't know.
seems
It was,
stupid,
or maybe it was
but,
just
like,
the amount was so little.
Yeah, it was
I don't know.
Dude, we took a big shot the first time.
Yeah,
though.
we
It was
did.
much more than we did the second time.
Yeah, way more.
But something about that was like
Really
fucking awful.
Carson, anything else?
No, we'll see you next week with another great episode. I hope.
Thought about killing myself.